Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are for round one of the Trackstars TS2 touring cars. Mate, what a pre-qualifying that was. Those times were absolutely insane. You blink and you're out of the top 15. But yeah, as always, we've got Spud alongside me, man. That pre-qualifying was absolutely incredible, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was really intense, the pre-qualifying. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us here for Trackstars TS2 Touring Cars. We bring you the first round of the 2023 season for TS2 Touring Cars. We're very excited to get these cars underway here at Deep Forest Raceway, located in Switzerland. We're very excited, and like you said, the pre-qualifying, obviously everything was off camera, but my goodness, the lap times were so close. We saw at least 3 drivers get themselves into the 19s, and that's absolutely some great pace there. And once I can get my screen uploaded, for having a couple of technical difficulties on the broadcasting side, so once I get that sorted out, we might be able to see where everyone is on track, as we have qualifying for Split 2 underway. But before we get qualifying underway, I have to say a massive thanks and congratulations to all of the TS2 touring car drivers that registered racing for us here tonight. We have an incredible 26 drivers on track tonight in 2 lobbies, in Split 1 that has been broadcasted to you live, and Split 2 that is being hosted by Tyler Lansdale in another lobby. So 11 drivers there and 15 here is absolutely incredible. So we thank our drivers so much for putting in the effort and joining us here for an exciting 2023 season.
Yeah, it's for the first round, man, their turnout is absolutely incredible. And big ups to the guys in the middle, Big Man in the background, Ryan East as well. He's the first time doing other stuff in the background, made our life that much easier. Pat was just playing along for the ride, and even kicked me out of the voice chat in the meantime too while I was doing a couple of laps. But yeah, mate, those times in pre-qualifying were absolutely incredible. I think it was all like
Yeah, literally just 1.006 separating the top 15, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely incredible.
But those times, that 15th driver was on a 1 minute 20.8. That just to get in the 20s, yeah, around there, is pretty crazy. Especially on low 20s. But yeah, to get the 19 is quick as well. But yeah, those times are so close. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely. So thanks for joining us here on the Trackstars TS2 Touring Cars YouTube channel. So, like and subscribe here at Trackstars Racing Series. We see all the action of the Touring Cars Championship in season 2023. We just had the TS3 boys going out, having their laps, sorting their laps out. Unfortunately, with a delayed start with the TS2, the boys are now here. They're underway. We are qualifying. First up on the track is Luke Hayden, setting up the fastest lap so far with a 1 minute 20.7, but we know those lap times are going down. And as I just say that, we have Syriac popping through with a lap time for 1 minute 20.740. So, and then we have Green, who's actually come through for CP Motorsport. So we've seen, if some of you are not familiar, he's actually been racing around a couple of rounds in the Motormotion E-Series track race at TCR Cup. He's put on some great performances for the boys down in CP and for Motormotion, so watch out for him to shine through in the TS2 touring cars. We have Mitch Curry, the reigning Formula 2 champion, now gone from the Formulas to the tin tops, Ryan, and he said he's not feeling too confident racing these cars, but I would rather say that his pre-qualifying time and so far provisional second place says otherwise.
Yeah, you know, he's a Formula demon. We've seen that. You know, he had 5 on the trot. I stopped it. I was thankful, but yeah, he's in the tin top now, and his pre-quality was was awfully quick too. He was, I think it was second outright, so second or third outright behind Curry and Sirik there. But the other thing is, you know, we've got Sirik here in Xavier Hosking, who just got pipped by Luke Hayden. But he's driving for WRT in Brian's specialty, mate. That car is so pink. Holy moly, that's ridiculous. But we've got Hosking here for WRT Racing, jumping back into TS2. It's good to see him on track. I do enjoy seeing some older drivers that have raced before come back into the series and race. You know, I love seeing him back on track. But Green at the moment, he's got nearly 4 tenths on Curry, so I think we'll just wait and see for these times to drop a little bit further later on in qualifying. Once the fuel goes out, drivers start jumping in for new tyres. So wait and see. But he's in the slip now at the moment of Lamb, in KH Lamb. So he's still running as a privateer. He's doing well for himself, I think, to be honest.
Absolutely, and he's put on a spectacular performance in the Formula 2, Trackstars Formula 2 season. He's got himself there. He got a podium at, I believe it was Spa in the Formula 2 Championship, so he's done a great job. He's main series eligible, so many drivers will be looking towards him for an enduro seat later on in September, October for the way. For our high-speed Ring 500, Bathurst 1000, and then in December we have the St. Croix 1500 wrapping up the Touring Cars Championship, and it's exciting. And he's going to be one driver hot on the market here, but as well, it's great to see some drivers coming back. Like you said, it's great to see Hosking back in WRT colours, and WRT have put on a really nice, spectacular livery. All cars, they've gone for a pink and black with Sirik, because he just loses a bit of snap oversteer on his car.
He's going to be stuck there for a bit. There's still another bunch of cars to come through.
Yeah, more Breeders going to get compromised. Just keeps it away from the edge there. But going back as well, he's put on the liveries that they've put on a bit of a pink and black, and the other drivers as well we see with Williams and with Doc in the other teammates from WRT Motorsport running a yellow and black livery. They're both in split 2, so got Hoskins representing WRT in the top split of TS2, but so far, like, no one's been able to topple off Green there for CP Motorsports, and we know one driver is a very fast driver. He's sitting in 8th place at the moment, but with just over how long we've got, about 3 minutes to go, or 4 minutes to go till the end of the qualifying. We're going to see this man pop up through the field. So far, he's got a good lap time in for a 1:20.3, but still 2 tenths behind his teammate in Green.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting one. But yeah, I'm waiting to see what Aiden can do. You know, he's the Daytona 500 winner. Oh, Curry's into the 19s, first driver to crack it.
Oh, straight away
In the 119.9. He's running an alternate livery to the other RoboSport Racing drivers because he had some technical difficulties with GT7 and not being able to apply it. So he's made his own one, and he's made a pretty decent looking one. And unfortunately, we had the passing of Delano at the Cirque du Spa Francorchamps this weekend. So he's got a bit of a rest in peace Delano there with a little love heart. So our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, friends, and everyone there. So just shows what happens when you get some wet track racing, and unfortunately their driver did lose his life. But as I always say, motorsport's dangerous, and everyone knows the risk behind it. So it's a good one there for Curry. He's running the 43 as well. That is to tribute to Ken Block. He was a heavy follower of Ken Block there. So running a double tribute here. So big ups to Curry there, and I got a lot of respect for him. But yeah, so it's going to be a bit of an interesting one. But yeah, he said he's not a tin top driver, but mate, you're pretty big liar there, mate, because you've gone faster so far. So I think he's big liar, big pants on fire.
Exactly, but it's still long to go here, so a couple of drivers will be able to get at least one more lap here. We've just about crossed that minute 10 to go, so these drivers are on their final laps here. As I look over to the secondary stream and the secondary camera in Split 2, we have Chris Burke for Robo Sport Racing currently sitting on provisional pole position, and then we have Mackenzie second, and then we have Luminous in third place overall. So very close qualifying session for those boys too in Split 2. So some very good times there in Split 2, but the main lobby we're looking at is Split 1 here tonight, and so far Curry's sitting on provisional pole position. A couple of drivers that we're not seeing making any moves yet so far compared to their pre-qualifying times. We're seeing Dallas coming through to start his final lap, so the four-time Trackstars Touring Cars champion from yesteryear, having a good old time in TS2 since the last couple of seasons, and he's now got himself into a Nissan GTR. The man's gone from everything, or at least It's Racing Esports gone from all three cars. They've gone from the Nissan to the Lexus to the Hondas, and then now back into the Nissan. So It's Racing, I guess you could say, when it comes to cars and manufacturers, they've got the whole lot back of the factory.
Yeah, well, you know, yeah. When I first obviously joined, sorry, you could.
No, I was going to say, we're just on the last lap now. We just saw Hosking actually improve up into P2, so beating Green on that final lap there. So he's actually come through to do one more. Yeah, but the times are so close between these drivers. It's absolutely incredible. So Hosking currently sitting second. Green still third. We have Lashbrook sitting in fourth place, and then Muffin again sitting in P5 overall. Dallas has just come through with a 1 minute 21. That's not even inside the top 8. So he's got a lot of work to do in race 1. But we're going to have to keep our eyes, hopefully very soon, on what Muffin can do, because he's down in 5th place. So even though 5th place is still a good starting position, we usually see Aiden up towards the front there. But he's on the pit straight now. He's got a little bit of a tow from the car ahead of him, so he might gain a few hundreds there from the Lexus in Paul Rudsey. So will he be able to improve his lap time? He's taking the inside line. Does he go provisional pole? He doesn't. He just holds on to P2, but he's so close to Curry.
0.007 and then 0.021 to Cyric, and then 0.059 to Green. Mate, those times are incredible. Oh my lord. 0.087 separating the top 4. That's insane.
Absolutely incredible there. The drivers are so competitive there, even between the top 5. Well, what are we looking at? Between the top 13, covered by less than a second here, Ryan. That is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Whole field covered by 1.2. That's crazy. And even the mid pack there, they're covered by, you know, less than a tenth of each other. You know, we've got Breeder to Lamb 0.369 to 0.388. It's literally onwards of nothing. So you blink and you've lost a lap. But hats off there to Curry. He was quick in the formulas, and apparently he's quick in the tin tops too. So we'll definitely be waiting to see here. We are a bit behind time, so we're going to go straight into the race. So this is going to be definitely an interesting one.
So the drivers have just come out of the qualifying cars. Now they've got to get into their race cars here at Trackstars TS2 Touring Cars for the first round here in season 2023. We are excited to bring you back touring car racing here at Trackstars Racing Series, the pinnacle of Trackstars Racing Series. It is a GT500 racing, and so far the man that's leading the way in 2023, Mitch Curry, your current Formula 2 champion, is stuck it on pole position in TS2, but he's got a fast Captain Muffin and Aiden Holton right behind. Hosking and Green not too far behind as the lights go out, and we are green flag racing for the first time here in 2023. Curry gets himself a good start, but Aiden's got a much better start. He's got the second phase of the launch, and he's going to put a move on Curry onto the inside line. A little bit tentative on the start there, on the brakes there, but Curry loses 2 positions in the span of a couple of corners there. Green might go for an opportunistic move on the inside there, but so far looks relatively clean there. I don't see too many incidents far behind there. We've got Crestdale and Lamb going side by side. Lamb hits the barriers, gets some damage on the right hand side of the car there, so very clean start for the majority of the field there, but obviously a little bit of biff and barge just to try and sort out the orders here, Ryan. And so far we are good, and so far it is relatively clean, more or less.
Yeah, and I think he copped a little bit of a shoulder there from Crestdale, but GT7 things obviously, I do believe that's Malaysia, where Lamb's racing from. I think, or Singapore, one of the two. So
Malaysia.
yeah, so Malaysia compared to Australia, there would be a little bit of a net code there. GT7 thing's got a bit of damage, but that's washed off now, so we'll wait and see on what HBR can do towards the end. But hey, Luke Hayden in Lurox 22's tried to go down the inside. Wow, that drive out of the Lexus from that corner there, that's crazy.
That was very strong there by Lamb. He's done a good job there just to keep that P9. But Hayden, it's good to see him back in the touring cars, but we've still got a huge battle here for the lead here. We've got Hoskin going for a switch move on Holton. He goes a bit deep going to turn one. Holton with the switchback of dreams and gets P1 on the exit of turn one. Goes defensive on the inside line. Our cameraman is going full excited on this battle here. Hoskin went a little bit too deep there. Unfortunately for him, loses a position. Does he lose 2 positions because the pack behind him was very close? No, he keeps second place. Curry still holds on a third. Green on his debut here at Trackstars Racing Series is sitting 4th place, and the first of the Lexus is in Lashbrook in 5th place, and then right behind is his teammate in Crestdale and Xylon 96 and Breeder, another fan of Formula Racing, switched over to Tin Top Racing, and it's good to see him in a car that he can push through, sitting P7, and Aussie Hypnotic in Taylor running in 8th place, so he also loves his touring car racing. And then we have HBR, and then we see here down in 10th place we see Hayden in rounding up the top 10, and then we have LJ in Sandwith. I mean, I was having a bit of a joke there. As we see a contact there, we see an incident up ahead. It's involving Taylor, and looks to be Lamb. So let's see what's happened here. Thank goodness we've got the cameraman well in the pecking order here, ready to find some incidents. Oh, contact made between HBR and Aussie Hypnotic. So I think from what I saw there, I think he gave a redress. Let's try and look on board with Lamb. Wow, he's so far back as well.
Yeah,
wow,
that's massive there, and it looks like he has let Aussie go, so he has redressed that one. Good there on Lamb, but yeah, that was very late on the brakes there, but not much you can do. Oh, Justin, that was ambitious as anything. Oh my lord. Oh, HBR.
Oh, contact made between Purton and Lamb there, so Lamb is just going from bad to worse, unfortunately. Goes for a move on Lamb there. Purton tries to capitalise it, and Lamb's just got nowhere to go there. He's just gone from bad to worse. No grip at all, exactly right there. So he's sitting down 15th in last place. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead still brews on between the 4 Nissans. Leading the way is Holton in Car 98 for CP Motorsports, the King's Care sponsored CP Motorsports entry. And then in 2nd place is in Hosking, the straight edge excavating, and for WRT Motorsports. And then Mitch Curry with the Robert Sport Racing entry in 5th place, as we see the 2 teammates in Apex, in Lashbrook and Crestdale going to go side by side. This is for the lead.
He's around the outside.
To go around the outside, move on his teammate, and he's going to hold it around the outside. Lashbrook just gives him enough room on the green AstroTurf there, but a fantastic move there by Crestdale. If we thought TS3 action was pumping, Ryan, look at TS2 boys go, and there's some excellent racing here with a couple of mistakes from a few drivers from the back of the field there, but the front is where it's all happening there. Unfortunately, it looks like we've seen a couple of incidents there. We see Purton have an incident on the exit of turn 1 there, unfortunately, so he's dropped down to the rear of the field. You can see he's actually involved with another driver somewhere, so something's happened there. It looks like Justin Baker's actually made a mistake there as well, so he's dropped down. So a couple of mistakes there from the rear, from the boys at the rear of the field there. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to see much of it, but yeah, because I think all the action, we're trying to find all the action here, Ryan. We're looking at the front,
everywhere.
We're looking at the back. You know, I think you're direct. I think the directors are going to come through our ears and just say, mate, just focus on a battle, please.
Problem is, there's battles all elsewhere. You know, we've got the top 3. Green looks to have dropped off a little bit on the front, but then we've got Crestdale fighting with Lashbrook and Breeder for 5th, and then Hayden's a little bit far behind, a little bit further behind. But another big mover at the moment is Dalit, who came from what would be second last and 14th on the grid. He's up to 10th, so a couple of drivers getting involved with some things. They're starting to kind of settle in now, but yeah, that's been a very hectic race start there. But we see LJ in sandwich with the penalty, and the only Honda in top split too. So we don't see many Hondas around this year, unfortunately, but maybe that's got to do with the BOP and the car being an absolute anchor. That thing is, I think it's running about 20-25 kilos more than the other two cars. Oh.
Yeah, it is a bit of a heavy car. As we see an incident, that is actually Lurox there. So Hayden's actually had a massive incident on the exit of the infield section going onto the back straight. He runs wide going onto the bridge, but it comes in. Does he make a mistake? Oh, he clips the grass there, so he just got dirt on the inside tyres, and that's just what spun him round. So that's his race. Dropped to the back of the field there. He's going to be battling it out with Purton for the second last place in the race. But my goodness, the battle packs are brewing here. Ford Nissan's up front, the two Lexus right behind there. They've got a bit of a gap over the Lexus drivers, so the Nissan looks to be the favoured car in TS2 around this circuit. But as well, we saw in TS3 the Lexus proved to be the superior car, whitewashing the podiums in race 2. But maybe potentially we're going to be seeing a whitewash in Nissan's in TS2. So far, everything is looking really good around here, around the TS2 split 1. As I look towards the split 2, we have Mackenzie leading the way just ahead of Chris Burke in RoboSport Racing. So Mackenzie and Burke for MSR Lexus versus the RoboSport Racing GTR right behind there, and then Hedges, another affiliate name from PHE Sports, sponsored by Motors Brewing, in 3rd place. Unfortunately, his teammate in Purton is down in 15th and last place. So the Formula 3 champion making the big step up here right now. You have to give credit to the PHE Sports boys. You would think that they would try to continue their ventures in the Division 3. Those guys are just saying, nah, we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna have some fun. And that's what these two boys, that's their moral, because they're two good mates. They both raced in the same household when it came to the 8-hour Le Mans. And, you know, good mates racing with each other. Wherever they go, wherever one goes, the other one follows.
That's good. That's some really good and respectful driving and mateship from them. But yeah, you know, as obviously we've seen the F3 champ, as you said, Purden, jump up into TS2. It's a big step here, and as
it is.
We did get a little bit of a tip-off here, 12 out of 15 drivers in the main split so far are main series eligible. So
wow,
that just really shows the caliber of drivers that we've currently got. You know, we've got Green, Lashbrook, and Purden are the 3 drivers that aren't main series eligible. So that's definitely a very, very fast lobby, as you know, pre-qualifying really showed. But looks like Aiden Halton here has put out a little bit of a gap onto Sirik, so maybe that dirty air is really kind of causing havoc later on in the race as the tyres start to wear. But these guys here, one of them blinks, the other's going to take the position. This is quite close here, but mate, I absolutely love touring cars. This is such great commentary. I love it. It's fantastic.
Absolutely, some great racing here, but it looks very well spread out between the Nissan boys. Maybe it looks like Green's actually closing in, but Sirik just did put in fastest lap there, so car 51 and Hosking putting the fastest lap there. The only man so far into the 19 to 19.9, but right as I was saying there, Green's right behind there, so with his teammate in 1st and Green in 4th, they're creating a massive CP Motorsport sandwich with the fillings of WRT and RoboSport Racing. And Green is actually closing up a little bit on Curry on this lap there. So you can see there, he's right in that area where he starts to get the dirty air effect coming through this infield section, coming through the windy section. He needs to get himself a good run onto the back straight here as we go on board with Green in car, I believe 232 for CP Motorsports. You can see they lost a little bit of time there, so a little bit of the aero wash coming from the RoboSport Racing towards the CP Motorsports entry, but you can see the gap that they've got over the Lexus boys. You can see the car is just very well stable around this track here, and in the hands of Green, he's really just trying to find some sort of extra tenth, extra few meters on the braking, trying to find a bit more of a faster kilometers through the section of corners, just to try and find anything to close up on Curry, but so far Curry's doing a fantastic job on his debut here in the touring cars in the TS2 Touring Cars Championship, and he's putting on a good show holding on to P3 after you started pole position. Unfortunately, losing a couple of positions there at the start, but he's still holding on to the podium position. And like you said, Green, with the potential to be top 5 eligible, he's going to be finding himself eligible for the main series straight away. And we saw the same thing last year with Tyler Lansdell. He actually debuted for MSR in the first race that he did at St. Croix, at the St. Croix C layout. He literally, from that race, he got himself into the top 5. He fended off from Taylor in Aussie Hypnotic on the last lap, and he got himself, and he got 5th overall in the event and 5th in that race. And he managed to get himself eligible in that first race. So Green's looking to put on a similar performance there, but with a tail wag like that, you don't want to be making too many mistakes there. But he still holds on to 4th. As I look to the second screen there, I just see it on my monitors there. I saw Burke go for a full 360, losing it in the infield section. Lost it out on the exit of the tunnel there. That actually promotes Hedges up into P2. We've got Williams right behind, not too far behind. For WRT, and Burke has got a half-second penalty as well to go with that, so he's going to lose P3 pretty quickly. It shows that with these drives in, it shows the grip limit that these cars have. You're really just trying to push these cars to the edge. With the downforce the cars have, you're really just trying to find those extra bit of performance on the loud pedal and the accelerator, as well as trying to use that downforce that these cars have.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly right. You know. You try and make up as much time as you can anywhere, and exactly as you were saying, Green here, as long as he keeps his head down and stays where it is, he will be on in main series on his debut. So the other thing is, Monopoly Money's got to go to Kaizen on that one at the moment. It's still pending, but he did call it that Green would be main series eligible as the first driver. So CP Motorsports have definitely signed a good driver here at the moment in Green, so fingers crossed, we'll wait and see what happens. But he's closed down to Curry here, but the other thing is we have Burke in the second lobby, so that's definitely probably not where we would have wanted to see Burke after his Formula 2 performances. You know, he definitely gave me a run for my money. I'm not going to take him away for that, but yeah, so it's definitely interesting to see. But the other thing is, I'm wanting to race. I want to get in one of the cars and race. I don't want to wait until next Sunday.
You've got one more week before we see the main event of the Trackstars Touring Cars, the pinnacle of Trackstars Racing Series, as we said earlier in the broadcast, and it's great to see these cars, and you know, to have TS2 as well back on track. You know, we have such top caliber drivers, as you said. We've got 12 drivers that are eligible for main series. It's absolutely incredible to see there. We see a couple of drivers down in split 2, I believe, as Burke is also main series eligible, but he's a big name that just missed out in the pre-qualifying by only 5 margins as well, Ryan. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, hang on, I'll go back to the times here. So where was Burke? So Burke was 18th outright, and he was a little bit off. He had 21.1, where the top split was a 20.8. So 0.3 off, and that's realistically all it takes, you know. So definitely very, very close, as we were saying, you know. But I guess that's really, we've always had that in our touring cars. You know, the drivers have always been really close, and you kind of can't really pick where or who's going to finish where. We got Brian in the track saying Thursday to Imola, mate. I want to get in a touring car. Look, I don't like GT7. Disclaimer: I'm saying that on my personal preference, not as part of the series. I don't like GT7, but I don't know, man. I'm just, with practicing through the week, helping the boys out, and seeing these guys race, I just want to get in the car and race. But I am excited for the Porsches on Thursday. But yeah, you know, just these guys, it just shows the main series eligible guys you were saying, and you know, 12 of them out of 15. I'm kind of scared to see these guys jump in if we need a sub in for someone, because that's going to be pretty crazy. But the other thing is, coming out of the MSR camp, you know, yourself, you're not racing this year, so you've actually promoted Tyler to race in that seat full time. So that's going to be a big step for him too.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm very excited to see how Tyler goes after putting on a solid performance. He actually won the last race of the last TS2 Touring Cars Championship, as we saw Slapper's mate in Wade Von Duvey to seal up the championship, and behind him was Budsy 76, and then that was it. And I remember that season, Ryan, how that season was so close between both Budsy, Slappers, Kaizen, and even Captain Muffin and a few others. There was absolutely insane racing. Even Hosking jumped in for the last few rounds as well, and that brought up the spice level to the next level. It was absolutely incredible. But it's great to see. It's for me as well. It's a bit sad just to not to be a part of the field, but I have full confidence in Lansdale to make that step up, and he's very excited for this season to come. But what I'm excited to see now here is actually for P2, Hosking has really closed up pretty quickly there. So I see Lashbrook has dropped down to P7 all of a sudden there. He was right behind his teammate in Crestdale, so he's dropped behind Breeder, and it looks like he's just dropped just a position there. Maybe he made a mistake. Maybe he got a little bit of penalty on his end, but we'll wait and see what he can do. As Breeder is P6 for Robbo Sport Racing. So Curry 3rd and Breeder in 6th. So again, two drivers that don't like touring, that are not a big fan of touring car racing, are holding their own, and they're doing a really good job holding on to 3rd and 6th place. But so Lashbrook looks like he made a mistake there on the last lap. Dallitz is still holding on to the top 8, so a very nice drive there for Dallitz as well, for the leader of It's Racing Esports in car 95. And then Taylor in Aussie Hypnotic is in 9th place, and then we have Paul Rudsey in 10th place, and then we can see HBR 82 clawing his way back through the field there. So he had a mixed event in this race here, Ryan, but he's caught back up into P11. He's right in the clutches of Rudsey in 10th place, Justin in 11th. We have LJ, looks like he's made a fair few mistakes, unfortunately, in 13th place. And then we have Luke Hayden, who unfortunately, again, made a huge mistake on the back end of the track. And then Purton in 15th place.
Yeah, certainly. Get back on that topic of, we got Green here on the back of Curry, but we've also had some very sad news as well come out of the Robbo Sport camp. Unfortunately, Robbo has handed the team ownership into the hands of Craig Harcourt in Rusty Nut 75. So they are going through a rebranding as of 2024. So unfortunately, they're going to go. Robbo Sport Racing will be put to bed in the history books of Trackstars, and they will be going into RN Racing. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a sad one to see. Where's Breeder? There it is. So I was just about to flick to his car, but it looks like he's made a mistake coming onto the back straight, similar to what Luke Hayden did too. So, but yeah, so getting back onto that, you can see here he's got the new liveries as well. So Craig's done some pretty nice liveries there, but he's got thank you RSR on the back windows, and as far as I know, he's going to be, I wasn't meant to push that button, he's going to be running that thank you message there too, so for the whole season. So big ups and big respect there to Robbo, and it's obviously unfortunate, but we missed the finish. I thought we were lap 12, but
the action goes very fast here in TS2, Ryan, so you've got to definitely be keeping up there. So, but unfortunately we missed the crossing of the finish lines there, but what we do know is after this we have Captain Muffin finishing off in first place. Hosking couldn't do much, unfortunately. He tried close up, setting the fastest lap as well. Unfortunately, he dropped out into who finishes in P2. And then in third place, we have Mitch Curry, who started on pole position, but drops down to P3 at the end of that start. And then Green, who's now officially main series eligible as well, Ryan. So another driver to add to the list, 13 of 15 drivers that are main series eligible. My goodness.
Yeah, definitely.
We have Crestdale in 5th place, Lashbrook in 6th, Dallitz in 7th, and Aussie Hypnotic in Taylor in 8th place. As we look to the second page, we have Paul Rudsey in 9th, HBR rounding up the top 10, Justin Baker in 11th, Les Sandwith in 12th place, Ed Breeder in 13th after that last lap incident on the corner going onto the back straight, and Luke Heaton as well, the same as well. Incident occurred even a few laps earlier, and then the Formula 3 champion in Purton rounding up in 15th and last place. So 15 drivers here in the top split of the Trackstars TS2 touring cars. As we see the checkered flag for the split 2, it actually goes to B. McKenzie for MSR taking the victory. So Alexis takes victory in split 2. Burke, after a few incidents on his end, finishes in P2 with the fastest lap of the 1 minute 20.6. And Hedges on debut as well for TS2 touring cars takes 3rd. Severi 4th. And then we have Viking in 5th place in North Key. Mason in sixth place, Balding in 7th, Doc in 8th, Scutty in 9th, and Van Vuren in 10th, and then Williams rounding up the rear of the field there. So a lot of drivers here in TS2 touring cars rather, as we take a short break from the action, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes' time to bring you race 2 of round 1 here at Deep Forest Raceway.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are set, ready to go for race 2. Grid set, drivers are all ready to go, mate. What an absolutely astounding race 1, mate. There was a lot of action there, and I do apologise to everyone on the grid that I did miss the finish coming over the line. I'll try not to make the same mistake now. It is round 1 of the touring cars. Mate, I'm not used to it. Give us a break. Settle down. Come on. Commentators can have a bit of a break.
Exactly right. You just like to ramble on, just like I do. But it's been an exciting season so far. The first race has brought up to it. If this is what the season's going to be here, Ryan, I'm all in for it. As we're about to go live for race 2 here, Muffin versus Hosking in the front row. It's lights out, green flag racing. Looks like Holton's got a perfect launch there. That second phase again, he goes straight into the defensive inside line. Hosking's going to have to go the long way around the outside. We can see Green go for an inside move on Curry there. So we see a little bit of biff and barge around the background there. Hosking's gone around the outside. He's going to find to go from the outside to the inside line through the windy bit. And Hosking takes the lead for WRT Motorsports for race 2 here at TS2 Touring Cars. Wow, that was an exciting move there. The inside line is very compromising. It looks to be, it gets to a bit of a pinch point there. I believe, Ryan, that you might be grip limited there, and looks like Hoskins found that outside line to work to perfection. Takes the lead in the second race here at the Trackstars TS2 Touring Cars. We have Muffin dropping down to second place. Green has promoted himself up into P3, getting that move done on Curry on the opening lap. And then we have Lashbrook and Crestdale 5th and 6th place again. Only the Lexus drivers in 5th and 6th. They need to get a move on to get up to the front there. We can see Lamb has come through out of nowhere up into 7th place there. So from 9th to 7th, a great start there. As I see Lashbrook go very deep there. We see Burton, unfortunately there, looks like he went a bit too deep going into the heavy braking zone there. I can see there he's gone in for a bit of an accident there. So Burton down in 10th place.
4 cars got caught.
Looks like there's a massive accident there. I believe Person might have been the cause of it. Oh, you did, unfortunately. So 3, 4, 5 cars taken out on the opening lap there. And I believe that Person has a bit of a price to pay, unfortunately. That was a bit of a late brake move there. Oh, as he gets thinking, it all gets congested
3,
there.
Yeah. 3 cars there. Purdon, my man. That's not how we do TS2, my guy. That'll be one for the stewards that'll look. Obviously, unfortunately, Dallets, Rudd and HBR in KH Lamb, I do believe, copped the short stick of that one. So, yeah. Unfortunately, that one there, probably not looking good for Purdon, but these guys just need to put their head down and go with it. You know, it's always hard coming into hairpins. With stuff like that. So, but
yeah, I just saw it back in the I just saw it back on the replays there that he was really struggled to pull the car up. So Green gets a penalty there. Curry is going to take back 3rd place. And again, it's going to be the battles resume here for Green and Curry. But it looks like the MSR boys and the Lexus have come to play a little bit. So the 2 boys in the Nissans are compromising because you can see ahead of them. Both Hosking and Holton have just run away with this so far. They put on a huge gap on Curry there. So they put 2 seconds Holton over Curry as those 2 are battling it out there. Hosking sets the fastest lap so far on the opening lap there, as you do on that second lap. About to start the 3rd lap. Holton in 2nd place. Curry holds on the 3rd. Green in 4th. Lashbrook again. Curry runs a bit wide on the exit of turn 1. But again, the boys in the Lexus cars are coming. They are looking to throw in a bit of spice in the battle for the last step of the podium here, as we see a couple of drivers in the split 2 as they go across live towards split 2. Looks like we have McKenzie again leading the way in the TS2 split 2. Then we have Norkie 2nd place, and then Severi P3. And I've just seen there Burke has got a disconnect, unfortunately, in split 2. So that's his race over before the start of the 3rd lap. As we see Burton on the main screen really struggling to get his Lexus to work here. And as we saw that incident on lap 1, and now on lap 3, he's really struggling to get this Lexus under control here on his debut in TS2.
Yeah, he looks like he ran a pretty far off line there, and just got a little bit hot on the accelerator and just spun the car. He didn't get touched by anyone, so it's just simply his fault. Yeah, maybe he's getting a little bit spooked by the competition that he's got currently in main series here. But Captain Muffin, Aiden Holton's going around trying to move around the outside. Unfortunately, it didn't stick. But yeah, these guys are absolutely having a ripper of a battle. This is insane, and these guys are really close at the midfield too. Lashbrook looks like he's jumped off the back of him a little bit.
Yeah, Lashbrook looks like Lashbrook just lost a little bit of touch and ground on that last lap towards Green and Curry, and that's actually brought Curry and Green closer towards Holton and Hosking up in first and second place. So they've dropped the Lexus boys and they're now closing up on the Nissans up ahead there. But the gap, the distance between the top 6 is very close. And if you add Taylor into the mix of it as well, he's not too far behind. So about 6.5 covering the top 7. You can even put Sandwith behind there in 8th place, about 7 seconds, 7.3. On the top 8, so still quite a close gap. As you can see there in the foreground, he can see Hosking's pink and black Nissan GTR there, so that just shows that the competition is very fierce here, and you have to be on your A game to put in some great performances.
Yeah, definitely, that's it. You know, we know the speed of the drivers. We've had them around in the series for 2 years or so. We've seen them get faster. You know, we've seen Aussie get a lot faster here. Oh, Crestdale making a move on the outside here at Lashbrook. Let's see if he can make this one stick. Oh, doesn't get them. Oh, he gets an over-under.
He went deep, did Lashbrook there, so the two Lexus boys going side by side. Can Crestdale hold it towards the inside? He gets the move done, so Crestdale up into 5th place. Not reminiscent of what we saw in race 1, but again, it was effective for Crestdale to get 5th place again off Lashbrook's hands. So Crestdale up into P3. That's the knowledge that Crestdale has in the TS2 touring cars. Was once challenging Blackman in 2021 for the TS2 Touring Cars Championship, and it just shows that his battle over the years, his main battle that he had, one that sticks to my memory and his memory, is the one that he had with Matt Simmons at Suzuka on the last lap. That was it just shows what a class driver that Xylon 96 is. He's putting on some great performances here tonight, and we can see Holton is really pressurising Hosking in second place there. A little bit of a tap, a little bit of a nudge on the rear quarters there of Hosking. Looks like Hosking went a bit wide on the final corner there, so he might pick up a penalty if he's a little bit if he's not careful enough. No, he actually hasn't. So play on as resumes there, but Hosking compromised on that exit of the hairpin, and looks like Holton's going to go for an inside move. He's got the fastest lap, does Hosking. Comes in, goes something, closes the gap on Hosking. He goes for a switchback move on Holton, and Holton almost loses the car there.
God.
Oh, that is so close.
Mate, that's full send if I've ever seen it. That was absolutely insane.
Oh, looks like Hosking just closed the door there towards a little bit of a late move there, a little bit of change of direction for Hosking there. Just gave him enough cars width length between the two cars, between the two Nissan GTRs in first and second place. And wow, this is some spicy racing here. They've really opened that gap now to Curry in third place. I did see Green did pick up a half-second penalty there, so yeah, there you go. I don't think he's going to lose the position to Crestdale, but he'll lose time to Curry. But I guess in a way, he's just going to try and get his head back down and try and find that confidence and really close up on Curry. As we see ahead, Holton really pressurising Hosking up in first place. He put a faint dummy move there on Hosking in first place. So they're going again, take 2 here, Ryan.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's at the same point here. We'll jump on board, see if we can fight. Sirik's gone really, really defensive there. Look at that slipstream. That's insane. Oh. That slipstream gain's incredible there. Oh my lord, there's a tailwind as well to add to the mix. So, as well as the slipstream, he has had a tailwind pushing him along. So, maybe that's why we went a little bit deep there on lap 5. But yeah, this battle's insane. I know Sirik's gonna love this one. I've raced alongside Sirik, and he's fantastic, and he's a really good racer. But yeah. Jumping back to Crestdale, your main series colours have washed off on him literally, because it looks like the beach. That's always been my nickname there. But obviously we did have Crestdale leave the series he had to pull out of the series due to some family and some personal things he had to do with. But he's back now, and he's looking absolutely fantastic. You know, in the time that he's off, we've had new faster drivers come through, but the caliber of drivers we've got going around sim racing and Gran Turismo these days is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very well represented with the Olympics, with the esports Olympics gone by at Singapore. So that was a really good event there for Gran Turismo to put on such a spectacle there. We've got Kylian Drumont from France actually winning the whole event there and was put on a very good drive there in the Toyota GR010 hybrid. And yeah, some great racing there. And even now with the World Tour Series coming up in Amsterdam in a month or two's time, it's going to be. It just shows the caliber of drivers that Polyphony and PlayStation can bring on Gran Turismo 7 is absolutely top class. As we look down through the order there, we can see Aussie Hypnotic in person, really just holding on to 7th place there. He's actually closed up on Lashbrook a little bit there, so he's dropped Sandwith, but he's actually closed up to Lashbrook, so maybe Lashbrook is just finding a couple of difficulties with his Lexus at the moment. They're not able to close up on his teammate, but it's losing time to Hypnotic in 7th place, and Sandwith is doing a really good job to be the first on the Hondas, like you said. He's the only Honda driver in Split 1. We have a couple of drivers in Split 2 running the Honda NSX 2016 model, holding up their end of the bargain in that session, as we still see Mackenzie leading the way. We have Witchell in 2nd place, and then we have a Viking and Northkey in 3rd place. So very close racing in both divisions. And as we look down through the rest of the field, we see Luke Heaton in 9th place, still holding on for Heaton Rensport, in 9th place, running as an independent now, venturing away from the RoboSport Racing Camp and just going on his own for this season. And then we have Lamb in 10th place. And then we have Justin 930, Justin Baker returning to Trackstars Racing Series. We saw his return back at the 8-hour Le Mans. It's always great to see Justin's name pop up in Trackstars Racing Series, and also for endurance racing as well. That's where he thrives on so much. But he's gone for the fast-paced racing here at TS2, and he's got a lot of competition ahead of him if he wants to find some pace. So Justin in 11th place. Then in 12th place we have Paul Rudsey in 12th, and just ahead of him is Jarman Dalitz in 13th place. Breeder 14th, really struggling in this race actually after his last lap incident, going off the track on the corner going onto the back straight. Really struggling, and then we can see their person. It's like he's on ice skates, unfortunately, so he's really struggling to get his Lexus around this track here, so something's going on. So there's something not right with the PHE Sports Lexus Motors Brewing 91 there, so a little bit of work to do, a little bit of head scratching for the PHE Sports boys up in the factory. So a little bit of work to do for round 2, which will be next week, which will be 2 weeks time actually. So can't wait to see where these guys get up to, but the battle is still on for the lead here. Is absolutely incredible. The pace that these two fellows are putting on, Hosking and Holton. You know, we've seen Hosking evolve so much, Ryan. You know, he went from TS2 to TS3. He won a few races in the TS3 Touring Cars Championship. And then basically he took a break from TS3 and he just straight away jumped into TS2 and he got himself a podium at Tokyo Expressway in the night as well. So running the Nissan GTR in the night time as well. And then after that getting himself eligible for main series and for the Enduro event last year, and he's just a man on form, but he's coming all sorts of under pressure here from Holton. A great run on to the back straight. He's going to go for the outside line, which goes for a switchback move. He was going to go on board with Holton for this lap here. It's at the end of lap 10 or start of the lap 11. You can't separate these two, Ryan. They're just literally hanging on to each other.
Yeah, well, you know, we know what Aiden's capable of, and it just shows the progression of Sirik here. They've both done he's lost a bit of time there, but Aiden's going to go around the outside here. Can he hold it? Can he make it stick? Oh, in the marbles! That's so unfortunate there. He was so close to holding that there, but yeah, these guys are doing an absolute stellar job. They're putting on a clinical performance here with 3.5 laps to go. So, yeah, they're doing an outstanding job here. They've just gapped the field by something chronic. 3.9 seconds, nearly 4 seconds. So as much as they're battling, they're also pushing each other along. Like Aiden's done a 19.8 there, so, and then Hosking's done a 120.1. But yeah, they're doing an outstanding job. And as you said, Shirik, he started in TS3. I think he only ran like 3 or 4 rounds, and he ended up pretty much nearly clean sweeping them all. So he actually didn't have GT7 before that point. So he, he jumped on and raced, and oh my goodness! Evasive action there from Halton. Looks like he ran really deep on the brakes, missed the brake marker, and yeah, pretty good evasive action there. So probably lucky there's a lot of track to the right.
Oh, yeah, I could just see that on the replay there. I just only caught that. I was just looking towards the front of the TS2 split 2, and I just caught that in the mirrors there. Halton ran really deep there, had to take evasive action there. Hosking, again, going the defensive line here. The boys just can't separate them whatsoever. They are just really putting on a show here tonight in the Trackstars TS2 Touring Cars for split 1. We have Crestdale holding on to 5th place, and then Lashbrook is getting under sorts of pressure from Taylor in 7th place. This is a very strong performance here by Taylor from WTC Racing. Really struggled towards the back end of the Formula 2 Championship, but has really come back into the TS2 Touring Cars and putting on a great show for the audience here tonight, putting his car up into P7 at the moment there. So a couple of drivers down the order there. We see Rudzi has dropped a few positions. I believe he was up to 12th place a few laps ago. He's dropped down to 14th. Breeders looks like he's gained a couple of positions there in 12th place. And but the field is very well spread out now, so I think everyone's just finding their groove. They're just finding their battle packs. They're trying to find drivers that they can race. We can see there Hosking and Halton, they know they can race each other. They've pulled away from both Curry and Green. Curry and Green are neck and neck with each other. You've got Crestdale, Lashbrook, you've got Taylor. They're racing against each other. It's absolutely incredible. Just the battle packs that you can have, it's insane.
Yeah, and the cleanliness of the driving too has really stepped up its game. You know, nowadays there's a lot of leagues going around, ranging from ACC and Assetto Corsa competition, based in strictly GT3s, and then obviously you've got a lot of GT7 championships. This Aussie Taylor gets really handy. He got a little bit of grass there, but yeah, the amount of leagues going around now, it's definitely something that's kind of really expanded lately in probably the last maybe 3 to 4 years. COVID really showed that. So I think that was probably the pinnacle of us at Trackstars, you know, with that, and people are we're starting to get a lot more support around sim racing and stuff like that too, so which has kind of probably helped us. But yeah, so it's doing pretty well so far at the moment. Oh, we've got some late news as well from Kaizen. Witchel's actually got an illegal wing on his GDR, so he's got the large wing on.
Yeah, I just called that as well, so thanks for letting us know there, Kaizen. Unfortunately for Witchell, he's leading the race here with 1 lap to go. There, unfortunately, there are a couple of things that he hasn't complied with the Trackstars Racing Series rules and regulations. He's running the wrong wing, and he also is not running Trackstars certified livery as well there, so that's unfortunate. That's two no-nos in the rule books of Trackstars Racing Series. So unfortunately for him, even though he's leading the race, I don't think he's going to be dropping himself well down to the back of the field, unfortunately. So a bit of a late entry into Split 2 and into the TS2 touring cars, but unfortunately rules are rules, and they are set in stone at the beginning of the campaign.
Yeah, we obviously had that last year with TS2 main series, big wing, small wing, stuff like that. We have removed that. Oh, Aiden Holton, any chance that he had at winning this race has gone out the window. He's copped a half a second penalty, so he's tried to stretch that track limits a little bit too far, and unfortunately didn't have that come through. So we're going to see Sirik take this win. So
yeah, and the two boys have really battled it out there. We saw Holton win race 1 here at Trackstars TS2 Touring Cars here at Deep Forest Raceway. Sirik got the jump around the outside, made a fantastic move on the opening lap as Holton, it goes full sideways on the last lap as well. He might compromise himself to Curry, but Hosking with a clinical drive there, not a foot wrong for Hosking, takes P1 here in race 2 for the Trackstars TS2 Touring Cars at Switzerland for the Deep Forest Sprint. Well done to the man at WRT. Holton holds on to P2. Curry just holds on to P3, takes P3 overall. Green, a fantastic debut here at Trackstars TS2, holds on to 4th. Crestdale, Lashbrook and Taylor, 5th, 6th and 7th, the top 3 Lexus in the field. And then we have Les Samwith in 8th place, the first of the Hondas, then HBR, and then Hayden rounding up the 9th and 10th place. Dallas in 11th, Breeder holding on to 12th place for RoboSport Racing. Justin 930, Justin Baker 13th place. Not the race, not the debut that he wanted to have. In 13th place, Rudzi in 14th, and then right behind there, unfortunately, struggling at the rear of the field, is Ben Person from PHE Sports, 15th and last place. So a lot of work to do for him, for the reigning defending Formula 3 champion. But man, what a drive by Hosking. He put on such a class act of defending, pure skill, and as well just brilliant, clean, brilliant driving between those two.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I've raced against Aiden in Captain Muffin, and the pressure that he puts on is absolutely incredible. So for him to keep him behind him, he's done an absolutely stellar job there. So big ups to Hosking there, because that was absolutely phenomenal. So those two races, man, they were crazy. 3 drivers in the 119s there. So we had Hosking with a 119.865, Muffin with an 818, and then Green with a 19.856. So 2 CP drivers in the top 4. Green with a now main series eligibility. So hats off to him there. So, and then Curry on his touring cars debut. We obviously haven't seen Curry in touring cars here before, but yeah, he's done a solid job there, getting P3 overall. I reckon he'll probably be pretty happy with that. But the other thing is Captain Muffin, gold and black. Let's go back to last year. Whose car looked like that?
Absolutely. So it might be of inspiration from the 2021 Touring Cars champion, but But he did say, and as his team boss did confirm, as his team did confirm, he's only going to be coming around for a few selected rounds there, so he might not be contending for a championship this year. But you never know; anything can happen here at Trackstars Racing Series. And full credit to the CP boys getting their cars 2nd and 4th in this race, and getting captain overall in the top 3, and Green, a stellar performance, like you said, getting a main series eligibility, not in the first race, but both in 2 races. So great performance there. But you can see there in the lap times as well between the Lexus and the Nissan. The fastest Nissan time in 1 minute 19.818, and then versus Crestdale's lap time with a 1 minute 20.4. So a little bit of work to do for the Lexus drivers to be able to get themselves closer towards the GTRs. But I guess with a track like this, a very strong handling track around here, and it looked to favour those GTRs up at the front, in the front 4. But as we look down, we have Lashbrook in 6th, Taylor in 7th, Sandwith in 8th place. As I said, the first of the Hondas, the only Honda in Split 1 here in Trackstars TS2, rounding up in 8th place. 9th goes to HBR, the independent driver in 9th place. Luke Hayden in 10th place. Dallas gains a few positions back up into 11th. Breeder in 12th. Justin 930. 13th, Paul Rudzi in 4th, and Ben Purton rounding up the last of the drivers here. So, comes to that time of the stream here, DJ. It's time to give out our Trackstars TS2 driver of the day here, and I think there's so many contenders for the TS2 field, and I'm gonna give you the honours to give me yours, and then we'll see if we can have some sort of agreement.
I don't know, man. Like the top 4. Top 5, top 6 drivers, they put on a pretty good performance, but mine has to go. I would give it to Green, but I've got to go to Sirik in Hosking in that purple WRT car. The man didn't put a foot wrong. He's just absolutely fantastic, phenomenal performance, holding Aiden in that top 2 position there. So yeah, that's fantastic performance there for Sirik and Xavier Hosking. So, mate, hats off to him. I'm definitely he's an inspiration. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, absolutely, and I definitely have to agree there. As much as I want to give it to Green, he was a very close contender for the driver of the day, getting back-to-back 4th places, and also getting main series eligibility. But yeah, as well, I have to agree with you. Hosking put in a very good performance in that last race. The first race didn't go his way, unfortunately, just lost out to Holton in second place. But that last race, this race in race 2, that just shows you what a class driver Hosking is. He's a great defender, a great racer. And any battles that you have with him, he's gonna put on a show. And tonight he did it for WRT. So well done to Xavier Hosking, winning race 2 of the Trackstars TS2 touring cars. And that is it for Trackstars Racing Series and the TS2 drivers. So we're all done and dusted here in Switzerland, Ryan. So where are we going next? Where are we going next week for round 2 of TS3 and the first round of the main series?
We're going from the Swiss Alps. We're heading over to the lovely, fantastic, spectacular Croatia, as far as I remember. We're going to Seaside, so it's going to be interesting, I think. I've done some laps around there already. Step a foot wrong, take it too hot into the bus stop, and you're going to absolutely get killed. The bus stop has claimed lives every single race that we've gone there, and I'm expecting to have some more tallies on the wall at the bus stop. So I think you're going to have a interesting spectacular going on with that one, because as far as I know, without you racing, I reckon you're going to be probably streaming that one.
We'll wait and see how we go there. I did say I thought it's actually TS2 heading to Dragon Trail, not TS3. So TS3 actually do get a week break from racing. They'll be back at Spa-Francorchamps in 2 weeks' time. But the TS2 boys will be following the main series at Dragon Trail in Croatia. So until then, Ryan, thanks for the coverage, thanks for the stream, and thanks you to all of our viewers joining us here on our YouTube channel, Trackstars Racing Series. If you haven't already, please like the stream, subscribe to Trackstars Racing Series, follow us on our socials at Trackstars Racing Series on Facebook, Instagram, and join our Discord where you can put yourself in all of this action here in Trackstars TS2 and even in the Trackstars TS3. Whether you're starting out or you're a veteran in Gran Turismo racing, this is the place for you if you want your high-speed racing in the GT500. So thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, and on behalf of myself, Nick Patasso, and Ryan Palmer, the streamer, the hoster, the legend, we'll see you guys in next